But if you remember, if you read in Genesis, when she's created woman, or man with a womb. She's not called a mother. She has no children at that time. And she's still in the garden, sinless. It's not until after the fall that she is now named Eve, or mother. Just think about that for a minute. I want to share with you just for a few moments. I wrote this letter to my children. You were fearfully and wonderfully made, and that my soul knows right well. There was no plan on my part. I didn't grow up dreaming about diapers, layettes, or bassinets. I didn't give much concern over preferences in the pastel colors of pink or blue, or that sweet new baby smell. I wasn't yet looking forward to my child's first steps, or first words, or first day of kindergarten. I didn't sit down with a husband and decide together when would be the best time to bring a child into this world. I was just a young lady who didn't really keep track of things like a daily dose of birth control pills or when I last ovulated. I didn't think about little tiny fingers and little tiny toes, as I yet did not have a personal relationship with the creator of all life. Yet he created life in me. How marvelous are his works. You were fearfully and wonderfully made, and that my soul knows right well. Not once, not twice, but 3 times in my life. The Father shaped and fashioned you while you were yet in my womb. He knew you personally and kept you protected and safe until his work was completed. Although all 3 of you were brought into this earth by cesarean section, one by emergency, one by necessity, and one out of caution, our Father heard each one of your first cries, and he answered you by breathing into you the breath of life and making each of you a living purpose. Though there was no plan on my part, his plan is and was to prosper you, to give you a hope and a future. How marvelous are his works. You were fearfully and wonderfully made, and that my soul knows right well. I've heard it said that at the moment a child is born, the mother is also born. She never existed before. The woman existed, but the mother never. A mother is something absolutely new. So while God was creating you, he was also making me into a new creation, a mother. And as you grew, so did I. Just as it took years for you to become the young men and women that you are today, it took years for me to become a mother. Please forgive me for not being like your friends' mothers. Forgive me for all the mistakes I made. Forgive me for that game I missed or that punishment you felt was undeserved. Forgive me if I seemed to give more attention to one of you or appeared to prefer one of you over the other. Forgive me for that trip you couldn't go on or that party you couldn't attend. Forgive me for not hearing you that time and for not having the money you needed for that very important thing you wanted so dearly. Excuse me if at times I seem crazy or angry or mean or you fill in the blank. Pardon me for my growing pains as our Lord was teaching me how to become a mother. How marvelous are his works. You were fearfully and wonderfully made, and that my soul knows right well. For the stretch marks on my abdomen, for the trice-healed scar from the repeated C-sections, for the breasts that no longer resemble their useful strength, I bear in my body the proof of life that has been born through me by him who is the giver of life. And I am astonished and grateful that he entrusted that young woman with 3 precious vessels. I am so very thankful now for those 30 fingers and 30 toes. How marvelous are his works. You were fearfully and wonderfully made, and that my soul knows right well.